So nothing about the inside can be proven. There's an exception, however. The exception is vital when you use a Kerr black hole for time travel. Get to the point. Kerr black hole's ring singularity. Since it's spinning, it has angular momentum. Like I said, Japanese, please. Didn't I already explain how the core spins? Just think of that as having momentum. You keep giving Meek-chan and Kuro-chan electrons that rotate faster and faster. And when their angular momentum exceeds a certain threshold, the event horizon will disappear and the singularity will become a naked singularity. Naked? You in the magical girl costume expose a lot of skin, right? What is the anime adaptation? Air! Naked, you mean it becomes observable. When the event horizon disappears, there's no more reason for time and space to change places, meaning that you can enter a naked singularity without being trapped. And then the existence of the naked singularity allows the principle of causality to be violated and the general theory of relativity to fail. The laws of physics are broken. Can such a thing exist? The negation of the theory of relativity and principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Kurisu say that earlier? Nothing in principle stops Kerr black holes from existing. It seems inconsistent, but the math never lies. Since the principle of causality fails, it would be possible to travel to the past by entering a naked singularity. John Teeter said the same thing. Which would mean Teeter's time machine is using CERN technology. One thing I don't understand is how they inject electrons into the singularity. Look, this is a picture of the LHC, but there's strange equipment installed at the proton collision site. Looks like they call it a lifter, but what is it? Daru, have you heard of it? Lifter? I think I saw that in the Z program files. Want to Google it? We've got hits! About 422,000 results. That many? I guess it's not a secret. Would this be it? Ionocraft? Ions are charged particles. The meaning matches. We click on a link that says Iconocraft Lifter. Move to link destination. This is to a video. Some dim garage. It doesn't seem like anything secretive, just a garage like you'd seen in an average American home. The center of the screen is a triangular shape made of some kind of metal. Looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. It's connected to some sort of transformer by a thin wire. There's some really cheap equipment. That's all there is. Nothing else. After explaining something in some language I don't understand, Russian maybe, the person filming the video slowly turns the power on. And then... it's floating. The silver triangle floats soundlessly into the air. Then it remains stationary. That's an anti-gravity device. Don't be ridiculous. That would be the breakthrough of a century. It's called an iconocraft, so it probably has something to do with electrodes and charged air. We look up information on the Iconocraft lifter. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since the sites all give conflicting theories. CERN is using this lifter technology. It's a vital component of their time machine. They can manipulate a microsingularity's mass and gravitational field, and these things really are anti-gravity devices. Well, I understand those exact conditions. I guess you might not be entirely wrong. Incredible. My curiosity is growing more by the second. It looks like CERN's having trouble adjusting their lifter. They don't have full control over the microsingularity's gravity, so they can't make a true naked singularity. That must be the reason why subjects turn into jellymen. Since the singularity is still closed, the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. As a result, substance becomes fractalized. Let's go with the hypothesis, of course. There's no way to be sure that that's right. It might take months to prove. So CERN's lifter is still incomplete? Teeter is telling the truth, and CERN will complete their time machine for another 24 years. We complete the phone wave, name subject to change first, then we'll have outwitted CERN. We don't have half the equipment or funding CERN does. What makes you think you can solve a problem that they can't? This isn't that simple. CERN still hasn't figured out how to set the subject's destination in time or space. It should be evident by how scattered the Jollyman's discoveries were. We don't even know if this is all of them. There could be Jollymen buried underground or floating in space. Actually, I'm almost certain there are. There's no point traveling through time if you end up in tens of thousands of kilometers away from the Earth. It's not practical at all. Peter said he had a variable gravity lock system. He can use that lock onto the Earth's gravity and ensure he arrives somewhere on the planet's surface. Peter's explanation on that point was vague. He mentioned having such a device, but he didn't explain how it worked. Really only moving through time, won't you just arrive in the same location? Of course not. Why not? Because the Earth is always moving. Right? Rotation and revolution. The Earth's rotation velocity is about 1,650 kilometers per hour. Orbital velocity around the Sun is about 114,000 kilometers per hour. Meaning 1 hour ago we were that far away from where we are now. Whoa, when you think about it like that, we're earth-shatteringly fast. That's not all. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way spins like a giant whirlpool. There are various theories, but basically the Earth moves about 50 million kilometers a day. Can she roll all those numbers so smoothly off her tongue? I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. Has she been doing research on the topic? We've kind of gotten to a ludicrous scale. By the way, the Milky Way is part of a large cluster of galaxies, which is itself part of an even larger supercluster. And these clusters and superclusters might be moving too. If that's the case, we're moving even more than 50 million kilometers a day. The point is that setting the destination would require insane calculations, even if you only want to travel 1 second into the past. Doing it by hand is impossible, and it might take years for a supercomputer to come up with a solution just to get you to the same location. And we have no choice. We need to find Teeter and borrow his variable gravity system. Great idea. Go for it. I wonder how CERN is dealing with this problem. God damn, all this theory about time travel. Dawn breaks. We stayed up all night again. Carisi was the only one that can read CERN's documents. Daru and I could opt to use the translation software, but that'd be nowhere near as efficient as she is. That's not exactly what I had in mind when I said I wanted to borrow her knowledge. It just goes to show that I was right to make her a lab mem. Daru is fast asleep on the sofa. Suzuha. So hungry I had to skip breakfast again today. I don't have more money on hand. Are there any good places to find insects or weeds here? I can get by using my survival skills if I have to. Insects or weeds? You eat insects? Hardcore. What kind of childhood did you have? Reply. Yeah, that should do it. It's Suzuha again? She must have some time on her hands. If you want to know. Very well. I decided to watch some TV as always. The news channel are all covering the Redicon satellite crash. 5 days have passed since the satellite crash, and with the start of the summer vacation season, crowds are gathering to get a glimpse of the satellite, which still has not been removed. In an interview earlier today, Michael Bryn, spokesman for NASA, stated that no satellite had crashed in Japan, and that no crashed object was, in fact, not even a satellite. The satellite is currently under police investigation. No date for removal has been set. Is it really under investigation? This could be another plot by the organization. Doo-doo-doo! Good morning! Oh wait, should I say good afternoon? Ooh, the air in here is so thick. Three of us probably look pretty haggard since we stayed up all night. It's hard to put on a bright smile now that I know about CERN. Mayuri's appearance makes Daru get up with a grimace. Kurisu also finally moves away from the computer and after taking off her lab coat, left the lab muttering, I'm gonna go get some coffee. She wasn't gone long. There aren't any cafes or convenience stores around here, so she must have used a nearby vending machine. Since all lab members are present and accounted for, this is the perfect opportunity to hold another roundtable conference. Roundabout confluence? What's that? A meeting of lab mems. Have we ever done that before? Do we even have a round table? Not physically, however it exists in the hearts of all lab mems. Am I mistaken? Yes, you're mistaken. Don't go sticking things in people's hearts. Is there one in my Yushis too? Of course there is. Oh, that's good. What's a round table? Why a round table? You King Arthur? Only a temporary lab mem anyway. These people whine about every little thing. Anyway, it's a roundtable conference. Mayuri wasn't here last night, so first, let's explain the situation to her. I tell Mayuri about everything we discovered in her absence. About how CERN is making a time machine. About jellymen. About how men in black might be coming to erase us for what we know. Told you shouldn't do bad things. Bad, you say? We are bad. Absurd. We're bad, and CERN is even worse. They aren't satisfied with ruling the world, and now they want to get their hands on space-time itself. I agree. Kurisu is once again wearing her lab coat. It seems she's grown fond of it, as she well should. What CERN is doing is unforgivable. They're traitors to humanity, to society, and to science. I guess. I didn't want to get Mayuri involved, but she's surprisingly perceptive. She'd find out even if we kept it a secret, so it's better to just tell her. Anyway, Ragnarok can no longer be averted. The final battle with CERN is near. A large part of me is still afraid. But we've come too far to turn back now. We can't unlearn what we know. Rag and a rock? Norse mythology again. Christina, I ordered you to investigate CERN. What have you learned? I don't remember being ordered, but whatever. There are two problems CERN faces with time travel. First is the electron injection device, also known as a lifter. Unless they get it to function properly, they can't make the curved black hole singularities naked. You send a test subject to the singularity in its current state, the supergravity compresses them to the micro level. Naturally, there's no way to survive. The second problem is that they can't specify a physical destination. They can't choose where they end up after traveling to the past. That's why I'd say 14 found jellymen were the lucky ones. Over 100 human experiments have been performed since 2001. The remaining 80 or so people ended up somewhere they can't be found. Why can't they be found? Didn't you know? Mayushi, the world is constantly moving. Its rotational speed is 1,500 kilometers per hour, and its orbital speed is 114,000 kilometers per hour. Darby's tone is authoritative, but he's just relaying what he heard from Kurisu last night. CERN has been looking for solutions, but it's not going well. Even CERN is having difficulties. Now then, have you learned anything that could help us complete the phone wave name subject to change? Well, I suppose you could tell the LEC the world's largest microwave oven. Of course, in other words, the phone wave name subject to change is a miniature LHC! Might be onto something there. However, there are too many things we don't know about the phone wave. Why did the same phenomena that occur in CERN's time machine also occur in that tiny little microwave? Unlike the LHC, this thing wasn't made for time travel. was made to warm Mayushi's chicken. Oh, yeah. Since the Jellyman phenomenon occurs with the phone wave name subject to change, Mayuri's bananas must be reaching the Kerr black hole's ring singularity. Makes a black hole here? Won't suck us in, will it? If it sucked us in, we'd become Jellymen too. We still haven't figured out the electric discharge phenomenon or the conditions required to cause it. During our experiments earlier, we were only able to send emails to the past during the discharge. Though it hasn't happened again, the discharge phenomenon can very well signify the injection of charge, that is, electrons. And only when it occurs does the path to the singularity open. We don't know the cause of the discharge phenomenon. We need to find out. In the first place, the mails were sending to the past are digital data, not physical objects. There's a definite difference between CERN's time machine. No, we're doing the same thing. Who's to say that digital data can't go through a singularity? I think it would be easier than sending something human-sized. Well, I suppose that's true. You know, the way you guys talk about email makes me think of folding a letter into a paper airplane and making it go zoom, you know? More like a beam of light, like optical digital data. By the way, it's a pain to keep saying email sent to the past. Let's give it a proper name. Got a bad feeling about this. What's that supposed to mean? You dare mock Hoin Kiyoma? Want to give it some oddball name, don't you? How rude. Heed me. I shall name the phenomenon of email sent to the past as follows. The name shall be Nostalgia Drive. Confusing. Rejected. You? Who gave you the authority to reject my ideas? You're just an assistant. Then why don't we take a vote? All in favor of Nostalgia Drive? The only one that does. You've forsaken me? Daru? Mayuri? Chris-chan's right. It's too hard for Mayushi to remember. It's way too tunif, man. Traitors. Fine, then let's hear alternatives. Don't tell me you rejected my idea without having any bright ideas of your own. I think it needs to be something easy to understand. It's an email that regresses through time, so how about retromail? What does retro mean? Sounds like you have your answer, Christina. You said it would be easy to understand, but it wasn't easy to understand at all, was it? Welcome back, Dimkara. We just figured out more about time travel. Haven't missed too much. That's because Mayuri-san is... never mind. Were you about to say because Mayuri's dumb? No. Huh? Chris-chan, do you think Mayushi's dumb? I don't. I promise I don't, okay? I vote the male who leapt through time. That's too stiff. It's hard to say. Better than your nostalgia expialidocious nonsense. Mine makes a movie title reference. I think Snoopy's still here. It's not cool. It needs to be cool. You're rejecting it for that? Doop-da-doo! Mayushi has an idea. How about back to the mail? I took a movie title and changed a word to mail. I already did the movie joke, Mayushi. Besides, I think the meaning is a little off. She probably meant mail to the future, but our emails go to the past. It's not about the meaning. I took a movie title and changed a word to mail. Either way, it's too long. How about DeLorean mail? Doesn't even say what kind of email it is. Hey, we don't have time for this nonsense. Let's just abbreviate to D-mail and move on. That's boring. I don't care if it's boring. Shut down. Karisu's influence in the lab mem seems to have grown significantly this past few days. Email it is. Mayuri proclaims the decision with satisfaction. Why does the D-mail phenomenon occur? Because the path through the ring singularity is open. We've been over this already. We don't know if there's actually a black hole at work here. It could be an extremely different phenomenon that just happens to resemble CERN's experiments. It's dangerous to jump to conclusions. Why so timid? Don't you want your time travel experiments to succeed? That's why we put our lives on the line to hack CERN. What we need to figure out is how to turn the phone wave name subject to change into a usable time machine. Do you think that's possible? No think, only do! What? Did you read that off a motivational poster? You're like the classic incompetent boss. Damn you. You dare insult the insane man-scientist Hoen Kiyoma? Not like Okarine's the boss anyway. Indeed, I am the symbol of this lab, not the boss. I don't know what you mean by symbol, but how do you plan to turn the phone wave into a time machine? Let's have details. My plan? Alright, there's one thing. I've been thinking that the electrical discharge happens at random, but I have an hypothesis. Which is? Recall the conditions when it occurred, Christina. We experimented through the night with no results, but there's one variable we overlooked. The simplest, most definitive variable of all. That is the time of the occurrence. Ah. I checked the times of the two previous occurrences. When I accidentally sent the first email through Daro's phone, it happened between noon and 1 p.m. The second time, when all four of us observed the email, it was 6 p.m. So if we perform the experiment within the time frame, we might be able to reproduce the effect. Let's try it right now. Well, I'm glad to see she has her priorities straight. Mayushi's banana supply is getting low. Gotta buy more. Sorry, Mayuri-san. I'll go buy some new bananas later. Really? Yay! Okarine and Darukuni eat my bananas, but they never buy new ones. Be sure to amend that in the future. A bunch of bananas is a small price to pay in order to bring chaos to the world. First, let's see if it'll become a jelly man. Ah! Trying for the clumsy grill appeal. It's an accident. Chris-chan, pain, go away. Thanks, Mayuri-san. Kurisu pulls herself together, types on her phone, and activates the phone wave name subject to change. The bananas inside the microwave slowly begins to spin backwards as the timer counts down. Ah! Whoa! Became a gel banana. Just as I suspected, the critical variable was time. I was a little anxious about the result, but it all worked out. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Zippler! Same for you. I haven't seen you since Monster Hunter. I've been meaning to go back, but games. Other games. How are you doing? And just as people have told me, playing the classy game. Steins, of course. I outwitted the impertinent girl, an impertinent genius girl. Now my position as the symbol of lab is secure. Oh, way to go, Okabe. It was so simple, I didn't notice it. You're praised as you credit, Christina, but I know you're frustrated. You didn't think of it first. For the most part. Gotcha. Anyway, let's see if we can send another D-mail. My authority has been on the decline since that girl showed up. Yeah, but how things been, Zippler? And have you been playing Iceborne? I need to get to that. It's cool, man. You never had any to begin with. Help you too, Ogaby. I'm sending an email to your phone. Did I become her assistant? What are you gonna send, Christian? Doesn't matter what it says. What matters is what we can send it or not. Let me see. Ogaby's and Airhead. Wait, you there, assistant. What are you typing? See, ready? I'm sending it. This is where the timing counts. You know that we have to open the microwave door during operation, but we still don't know when to send the mail. For now, we'll do them simultaneously. Marusi readies her finger on her phone's send button. I stand by in front of the microwave. Starting to count down. 3, 2, 1, 0. It's working! It's working, you guys! The discharge lasts for about 10 seconds. Luckily, it didn't break through the floor. Did it arrive? Disconnect my phone from the phone wave, name subject to change, and check my mail. There's an email there. 2 of them, even. Lol, sorry. Not yet. I'm at work currently, but I need to get back on there. Be right back. Almost done with work. Cool. No problem, Zippler. I'll be here. So take your time. No rush. Pfft. The Ogaby in the first one is obviously my name. What does airhead in the second one mean? My English is shaky. She's saying my head can fly or something? Whatever. I may not know what it means, but I do know this. My assistant is making fun of me. Christina, did you send 2 mails? No, I only sent 1. You, she saw it too. You really only sent 1? I received 2. You're right, I even sent it in 1 sentence, but it got divided. By the way, what does this word mean? Why don't you look it up? Guess she doesn't want to answer. That reminds me, the D-mail from before was cut up mid-sentence too. Was it? Wonder what's causing it. Maybe it's related to the Jellyman. Mayushi wants to know why it arrived 5 days ago. Good point. Didn't the last one arrive 5 days before we sent it? Yeah, it did. Is there some kind of rule for when it arrives? Let's try sending more. Yuri's right. Now that we've figured out how to send D-mails, we should keep experimenting and collect as much data as we can. Alright, lab mems, battle stations! At it again. Our mission? To send as many D-mails as possible. Daru, man the X68000. Your job is to observe, adjust, and gather information on the phone wave, name subject to change. Assistant, keep those mails coming. Try various patterns of text. Japanese, English, full width, half width, emoticons. The actual message don't matter. What about Mayushi? Your mission is to go shopping. Just buy some bananas for now. Hoen Kiyoma shall fund you. Wow, you're so generous. So I guess your job is opening the microwave. Whoa, you saved the easiest job for yourself? No, my assistant's judgment is sound. The key to a successful D-mail is most likely the correct timing of opening the microwave door. Oh, I was just kidding. Leave this task to